Hey, what's up? What's poppin'? What's the deal? It's Chris, and we're back to my channel, Explicit, with another one. So I'm going in with some avocado oil. I use this as a moisturizer when I do my face makeup and just as a plain moisturizer. I only use like two, maybe three drops is enough. As you can see, when I rub it in, my face gets real shiny. And it just really adds a great layer of moisturizer before I put on my primer, which can be very drying, and before I put on the rest of my face makeup, which can also be very drying. So I just pat that in, swipe it around, move it around a little bit, you know, get that in there. I even like to rub it in my hands, in my neck, just to add that whatever's left, that residue, onto places that can get dry, places that are just constantly exposed, i.e., hands, wrist, neck, etc. So after I make sure and I get in between my edges, because as you can see, I do have some hair on my forehead. So as we're going on in the makeup video, you're going to see how I work around that when I do my makeup. A little pose, a wannabe wink. And we're moving on to the next thing, eyebrows. I use a eyeliner. It is not waterproof, and it's by Wet n Wild, I believe, and an angled brush that allows me to do hair-like strokes and just feather my brows, make nice straight lines, and get like the sharpest, nicest brow in the bunch. That is some eyebrow gel that I should have put on before I put the eyeliner on my hand, because the eyeliner does dry pretty quick, and you want something that's going to be not completely wet but not super dry either. That way you don't have something really slippery going on your brow, but you have a nice kind of thick consistency that you're able to just create those strokes on your brow. Okay, so boom. I like to start when I do my eyebrows. I go underneath the arch of my eyebrow and I start making a line. That's going to be my baseline, and that just, for me, instead of doing one eyebrow at a time, one eyebrow, and then the next doing the full eyebrow, and then the next brow doing the full brow, doing the underline of one and then the underline of the next one, it kind of makes them just even up a little bit better for me, and a little bit more. Whatever technique works for you, but this technique works for me, and this is how I've been doing my brows since the dawn of time. So yes, okay, so I am starting at the top of my arch, and as you can see, I'm going in short flick like strokes. Look at the flick of that wrist. That wrist. Look at the flick of that wrist. That's what you want. That is what you want, guys. Get the flick of your wrist correct, and your brows will always come out A1. And that is on period. Period. So yeah, so I'm flicking, I'm stroking, and I'm creating. I'm creating a whole brow, as you can see. And it looks a little wonky right now, but trust me, it's all going to come together. There's a couple of steps. Never lose faith, get frustrated, give up, because anytime you have a problem, makeup, there's several steps. This is like your base layer. And when you add on, when you get into those steps and you really know what you're doing, every step that you take, sorry, there's just so many songs. There's so many songs. But every step that you take will help you either fix an issue that you had, whether you overdrew one brow, you can clear that up with concealer, or if one became too was smaller than the next one, you'll recognize it whenever you go to clean them up. So I'm starting on my next brow, and I am flicking. We're back to flicking. So I use a eyeliner for my brows. In a couple of my latest videos, my my previous videos, I did use eyeshadow. I switch between the two depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I get better brows with eyeshadow, sometimes it's better with eyeliner. And you see there, I made a mistake. I added too much eyeliner on the lower part of that brow, and I just wiped it off. Now I'm gonna go back in and just create the shape that I want, and then when I go in and I clean them up with my concealer, it will give me that nice crisp brow that I want. But back to what I was saying. So I do like sorry. Okay, but back to business. So I'm filling in the front of my brow, and how I like my brows, I am, remember like a few years ago when everybody was doing their brows in that like ombre effect? So you didn't really fill in like the front part of your brows, and then as your brow went from the the front, the middle to the tail was the darkest. It got from like light to dark. I love that look. I have a couple of makeup looks I did in the past where I didn't do my brows like that, and I loved how my brows turned out. But I always go back to this ombre look because to me it just looks so nice against my face. But that is the play. Whenever you do an ombre brow, you outline the bottom, outline the top, and you barely fill in the front of your brow, and then you fade it into the middle, and then you make your tail, the end of the brow, the darkest, and boom, ombre brow. But okay, so fun fact, since I do not have any new makeup and I cannot afford to get any new makeup legally, I go to my local mall and stop in some of these makeup stores, and I get samples on samples on samples on samples. It's about time for me to get some more. But I use these samples for my regular makeup, and it works just fine. Ain't no shame in any of our game. And that's on Jesus's mother. Who is Jesus's mother? Mary. That's on Mary, period. So I use some of that light concealer. I don't know what shade that is. I don't know what brand it is. I don't know. But it's a light concealer, about like 4 to 5 shades lighter than my skin tone. And I mixed it in with a foundation / concealer that's like 1.5 to 2 shades lighter. And I made this nice yellow based creamy concealer that I'm now carving my brows out with. So we're up close and we're personal. I like to start when I do my concealer at the front of my brow so I can create a nice straight line. This is going to help me create a straight arch, a straight curve for the rest of my brow. And as you can see, we're finished just that quick. I feel like, my brows go pretty quick, but it is like the one thing on my face that takes the longest besides my eyes. But if I'm not doing eyeshadow and I'm just doing like liner or something, my eyes don't even take that long. So as you can see, I'm looking at my eyebrow and I'm just like, that's not even. So I am compensating for this second eyebrow. And sometimes you're going to have to do that because just for the simple fact, your face is not perfect. Only people who have perfect faces are people who have plastic surgery. But we're all natural over here. All natural. So my one side of my face is higher than the next side of my face. It is what it is. That's just what happens. But I'm beautiful. You're beautiful. We're beautiful. It's beautiful. Period. So I just have to compensate for this brow. I have to carve a little out at the bottom, add a little at the top, or vice versa. And that's just, it is what it is. Work with what you got. So now I'm going on to the top, and this is a very, very like serious process. Like literally, I'm probably like really focused. I look really focused. I am focused. I'm not even blinking. Look, I'm not even blinking, guys. I blinked like once in those 5 seconds. I blinked once. Twice. But yeah, this is your brows. It's so quick. One false move. One false move and you damn near have to start over sometimes. Just almost. But you know, when I do clients' makeup and they be on the phone and they be trying to talk to me, I'll just be looking like, yes, I'm doing something, yeah. Not for real, but for really though, for real. Oh, but yeah, okay, on to the next brow. And boom, it's as simple as that. So another tip that I do use for my brows, when I start from underneath my brow with the concealer, I like to extend the concealer past the tail of my brow, and then when I go up top, when I extend the concealer, it kind of meets, so I can have that nice sharp point. My brows can end in just a nice sharp point. Like, I like really etched, dark, crisp is really like the only word I can really describe it as, brows. I think it just looks really nice on my face, and I like the style. But now that we've accepted that those brows are indeed passable, we are moving on to our eyes. So I'm using what's left of the concealer on the back of my hand and just using my beauty blender, and I'm dabbing that in. Dab, 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 dab. I actually like that color. You know, it's a buy go process for me. You know, I don't use the same type of combinations every time I do my makeup. I don't use the same amount. It's just a buy process. It's how I'm feeling. I use two pumps, only two pumps. I use, you know, it's by eye. Everything will literally be by eye. So I'm going into my makeup palette. This is it. This is the toast, the cheese, the toast, and the cup of tea on the side. I love this palette. My sister got it for me for Christmas. We don't celebrate Christmas, but Merry Christmas. And shout out to Mo Hennessy, Mo Dollars, Mo Hennessy. Thank you, sis. We're going into. Okay, so I am putting eyeshadow on a wet base. Now, when you do this, it is best, in my experience, to pat the eyeshadow on first, just so that first layer that you put on absorbs the moisture from that wet base that you have, and then you can work your way into blending it. That way it won't turn like muddy or anything, or like half of your brow is like wet and moist and then the other half is supposed to be dry. This is just how I do things. But we're blending. I just took a big old blending brush. It's fluffy, it's widespread, it's bigger than your regular eyeshadow brush, and I am just sweeping that back and forth, circular motions, zigzag, up and down, round around, do the Tootsie Roll on my eye. I don't even know what the Tootsie Roll is. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so we're doing just both eyes. We're sweeping that. We're going just a little bit. I'm going a little bit into where my nose meets my eyebrow bone and just spreading that all across my eye. We just want a nice, soft, but still vibrant orange on our eyes before we add this brown. So we're just sweeping that back and forth. So eyeshadow. I can do way better eyeshadow looks, but I just have to I'm dipping my foot in now because it's been some time before I've really been doing my makeup. And whenever that happens, I fall out of practice just a little bit. and my looks don't come out as nice, as perfect, as, correct looking. And so I just have to keep practicing. So this is me getting some practice in and doing something small before I start out with my big old drag looks. But also, those drag looks, they do take some time. I will sit down for like an hour to 2 hours and just do my makeup. But who gonna sit through an hour to 2 hour video? I might, but I don't know about y'all. Or maybe y'all would. Leave a comment below. So, what are we doing here? What are we looking for? Do you guys see my dreads? My dreads, my not dreads. Should I get dreads? I've been thinking about doing so, but I don't think I'm actually gonna do it. But I actually like how my hair is right now. I've just been keeping it in twist from when I did the avocado mask, which is a video that I do have up on my channel, Explicit, if you do want to go watch it. It's like 12 minutes. It's not that much. But yeah, it's an avocado mask, and I'm probably gonna do another one in a week or so. Probably the or so part. I'm gonna do another one, and my hair has just been living in these twists. I like the curly fuzzy look. I love that look. It's just not too neat. But it's still cute. We're always still cute, period. Okay, so we're adding some brown to our crease. So that is a pencil brush, and I am just outlining where I want to put that brown eyeshadow. So I wanted it to be in like a half moon, circle-y crescent shape that starts at the beginning of my eye and ends at the end of my eye. We're looking at the lash line here, where my lash line starts in the corner of my eye and where my lash line ends. Where my lash line ends at the end of my eyeball. Okay. Now we're going in with that blending brush. I didn't wipe it off, nothing. I just took it, picked it up, and I'm blending that brown into that orange. Just so it's not a harsh line and all the colors blend into the next color. And I'm just going back and forth. The key to blending is just to blend until you can't no more. What song is that from? Oh. Just to blend until you can't no more. Okay. So yeah. But we're just blending. We're blending that brown into the orange. We're creating a nice little smoky effect. And then we're going to go back into that pencil brush. And we're just going to start over. So you can't see, I blocked the screen. My bad. But I'm taking that pencil brush and I'm just dipping it in a little bit of more of that brown color. It's like a dark, it's called coco. Why do I say coca? But it's coco. And it's a dark chocolatey brown. Brown is so pretty, so beautiful. OMG, underrated. And we're just going to blend until we can't no more. I'm gonna stop saying that for realios. Okay, so we're grabbing our concealer, and this is where the cut crease / non-cut crease is going to come from. So it's not really a cut crease. I am just putting some concealer here and defining that edge where the eyeshadow that I'm going to put on my lid is going to meet that brown. And this is just to give that sparkly eyeshadow a base and something to stick to a little bit better, so it doesn't, even though these eyeshadows are not pasty or anything and they're not like powdery, it'll just be able just to stick and adhere to my eye just a little bit better. A little bit, just a bit, a tad, a pinch. So yeah, we're just tapping that on, blending that in with our finger. Your fingers are your first makeup tool. That's your first option. And then it's the brush, because your fingers will get into your eye, will get into any crevice you need it to get into, and blend that guy. Your finger is like cells. The surface of your finger is just a bunch of cells that create um a surface, and it's almost like a sponge, almost. But yeah, we're gonna take this beautiful gold shade from this palette, and we're just gonna swipe it on. I should have tapped it, but we swiped. Swiper, no swiping. Chris, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. This is a long process, okay? I have to amuse myself some way. But anyway, back to business. So now I'm gonna go in with this second gold shade. It's a darker gold. It's not as warm. It's like a cool gold, and I am going on the edges to blend that gold with that second gold with the brown. So I'm just going back, I'm going over, just blending that all in. Okay. Just blend it. Do you guys see that? That's a scrunchie. I'm bringing them back. I'm claiming it. I'm bringing back scrunchies. We're gonna make them famous again. You know, I used to work at this place, and everybody swore that I didn't, but I did. I had these burgundy Crocs. They were so cute. Let me tell you how it happened. So one day, I was like, I'm over it. Just threw on anything, and I happened to be wearing slides to work, and it's like God was just guiding me. I swear. He was like, Chris, this is the time you're going to be a fashion killer, and you're going to be a trendsetter. You ready? You're ready. Okay, so I happen to walk into, who is she? She's like the HR coordinator, but she be like over dress code too. And she was like, what are you doing? You can't wear that. You're gonna have to change. And like, she was watching me, so I couldn't just like sneak into the building. I probably could have snuck around back, but she was doing like dress code checks, and I didn't feel like getting sent home because I was already there. Oh, this is the part where I'm doing my wing. Okay, we'll get the next one. But so I had to just go to Bells. Yeah, I went to Bells. I had to just go to Bells. They were like the first thing that I saw, and I just grabbed them. They weren't even my size. They were a size 8. I'm like a 9.5, but that just lets you know that I just IDGAF, period. So I just put them on and strode up into the workplace, and I was wearing them for like months nonstop, because they went with like every outfit. They were burgundy and bright and white, and they were comfortable. Like, it was just literally, I was killing the game, killing it. Next thing you know, everybody wearing Crocs now. Pink Crocs, yellow Croc, orange Croc. Just wait. And then nobody wanted to give me my props. Nobody was like, yeah, Chris, we saw you wearing them, and we was like, girl, they is cute. But everybody was asking me where I got them from. But it's okay. I love being an example. I love it. Follow me, house. Anyway, back to the video. So we just did our wing. Quick rundown of how I do my wing. I like to start at the edge of my eye and create a line, and it's like the first part of the triangle, and then connect the tip. I go just under the tip and connect it back to my eye. So onto our face makeup. This is primer. This is from The Ordinary. You can find this on the DCM website. I recommend them so much. I recommend them to everybody. All of their products are super affordable, and they're not I've never using their products, and I've used a range of their products from cleansers to primer to moisturizer to like an acid, a facial acid that really helped my dark spots. It's so I never got a breakout. My skin never reacted badly to their products. Like, I just have nothing but good things to say about it. I loved how they packaged it. It got to me quick, and it was never I've never had a problem with them. And they don't participate in Cyber Monday or Cyber Week. So kudos to them. And so it's called DCM.com, and it's a brand called The Ordinary, because they do sell other brands on there. But this is a primer. It's a pore filling primer, and it does create a matte finish. So that goes back to the moisturizer that I did put on, which just helps because sometimes I do get dry in my T-zone, and that helps to combat the dryness. So here, my foundation, it's just two of those samples that we talked about mixed together to create a color that's close to my color. And I will just either put alternating concealers or foundations on the back of my hand just to reach a color that is actually my color. And then now I'm just dabbing it on my face. Look at my dab. Hey, look at my dab. And then I'm taking my nice, fluffy dome brush from Elf. Back when, anyway. And I am just blending out that light concealer around my eyebrows. I am going around my edges, blending that all in. And circular motions, light strokes, making sure I get around the corners of my nose and around the sides of my face and down my neck. This is really important because while you may only see one side of your face or that 1 to 2 views, when you go around people, they see a 360, honey. They see 360, and they see a lot more in that 360 than you do in your 180. Just so you know. But yeah, we're just blending. We're blending our little life away. Okay, so for highlight under my eyes and the rest of my face, the focal points that are going to bring my contours more out and make it more pronounced, I use just what I've been using, the same combination I did for my brows, but just a little bit lighter. So just some more of that first concealer that was way lighter than my actual skin tone. And I put it under my eyes, my chin, above my mouth, around my mouth, and under my cheekbones. Oh, in the center of my forehead. Because while I don't feel like I have a big forehead, I have a forehead. It's there. But I feel like my face is so proportionate. Like, it's all good. I have like huge cheeks. So I feel like you can't even really say anything about my forehead because it just doesn't look big. At least not to me. So yeah, so I go underneath my cheekbone. Now with this, right, you want to be careful because everything you do from here on out is going to alter the way your face looks. Like, For real, for real. You can make your cheeks look sharper and more higher by creating more of that light shadow than that dark shadow. So you would raise from where I put that concealer, you would raise it up like an inch or so higher, how whatever your preference, and that would create sharper cheekbones, and it would elongate your face. But that's not what we're going for. Since my cheeks are already just so big, so luscious, we are just going under our natural contour line, and we're blending that out. We're taking our sponge, our we're taking our sponge, and we are just dabbing away. Now here comes the fun part: powder. We love us some powder. This stuff gets everywhere though. Like, no lie, I dropped like half of this container the last time I did my makeup. It was a mess. It really was. I think I still got some on my flow. But we're dipping our sponge into the powder, and we are going to, and this just creates a flawless finish. We're going under our eyes, our nose, under our lips. We're going on our chin. We're carving out, we're reinforcing that concealer with this powder. And this is going to really just create the shadows, the lights, the darks that we want on our face, and just bring you that image that you want. When you do your makeup, you are literally doing a work of art. You are creating art with your features. So it better be a masterpiece, bitch. Period. Period. Okay. And yeah, we're just going in the pot. We're going ham. And I also like to take whatever's left on my sponge, and I like to go on my forehead and over my eyebrows. And that way, if I accidentally scratch at my eyebrow during the day, or during the course of however long I do wear my makeup and it sets, my natural oils will come out and seep through, because we have pores. It happens, and it will start to show more. Your makeup will just glisten a little bit more, but instead of being just too oily, you're gonna have just like a nice little glisten because you powdered, you baked. So that's what we're going for. And if you ever get too oily, blot and just dust a little powder. Just powder it up. Powder it up a little bit. But yeah, so while we're waiting for that to bake, while we are baking, I'm just changing the channel, trying to listen to something a little bit better. Our music preferences are important. I always listen to music when I do my makeup, because I don't talk, so I can do it with no music, but it eases me to listen to music. And so here we're doing a powder. So I do like to do a cream contour and then go on top of that with powder. But this time I just thought I'd try something different and just do a powdered contour. And so I'm going into that cocoa powder in that palette, that Technic palette, and I am buffing that in the corners of my face. So where my edges end and where my face begins, around my eyebrows, my forehead, I'm going right in the crease of my cheek between the powder and the highlight, the top of my cheekbone, between the powder and the top of my cheekbone. We have a moment there, and we still got a moment, and we're keeping a moment. Go, Chris. Go, Chris. Get into it. Get into it. So after we dusted off all of the powder, I am going with these two shades. They're going to be in the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, but first I was going into that cocoa powder and just putting it on a big fluffy brush and just adding a little bit more color to the edges of my cheek and bringing it up. You always want to blend upwards. That's just going to prevent the lines of your face from becoming, you don't want them to be too crisp unless that's your preference. But if you're going for a clean but natural look, you do want to blend it up, because if you blend it down, it's going to mix into that part where your cheek is supposed to end, and now your cheek is running on. It's like a run-on sentence. Put a period in there somewhere, sus. But yeah, so we're going into these two colors. It's an orange color and like a tangerine like color with a little bit of sparkle in it, and that's going to be our blush. And we're dabbing that on the apples of our cheeks, and we're blending that into our contour. I like this type of technique. Once I've started doing it, I've just adopted it into my makeup style. So unless I find something better, this is how we doing things. And I also do take some of that blush. It's an eyeshadow, but I'm using it as blush. So for this video, it's blush. I'm taking some of that blush, and I am putting that, I'm blending that on the bottom of my chin and on the sides of my nose and on the tip. And that just gives me like an all-around color to my face, because basically that is what blush is. Blush is just supposed to signify the natural blood coming to certain spots of your face and giving you that pretty fever look. Fever. Wait up. Okay. And we shining, baby. We shining in things, baby. So it is time for highlighter. Now, this is one of my favorite parts. The glow is everything. The glow is life. We gotta glow. We gotta shine. We gotta shine. But anyway, so I'm putting that on the very top of my cheekbone, and that is just where it's going to catch the most light. And I'm going ham. You don't have to put as much as I do. You really don't. Whatever you feel is necessary. But I just felt that much was necessary. I like to blind. I like to stop you and give you a moment so you can give me my moment. Period. Period. But yeah, so we're blending. We're blending that in. Everything that you put on your face, you always want to blend it in. It's a powder, so it needs to be able just to settle in to the creases, the little mini microscopic creases of your face, so it could just look seamless. So besides putting it on the tops of my cheekbones, I do put a little bit in the center of my forehead, depending sometimes, and also on the high arch of my eyebrow. Not a lot, but just whatever's left on my brush. I'm blending it out because I noticed it, it was a lot. I'm blending it out with my big old fluffy brush, and I do put some on the bottom of my chin and the top of my lip, which is my cupid's bow, and I use my finger to place a dot, kind of like a triangular shaped dot on the top of my nose and on the bridge of my nose as well. And it's coming together. It's all coming together, guys. So mascara. So I love lashes. I really do. But you know what? I get so used to wearing my makeup with lashes. I forgot how cute I can be without lashes. And to be honest, I do like to just switch it up sometimes. And I have really cute lashes now that they're growing back. Especially with a little bit of mascara on them. They're real cute. And we love a bottom lash. We love putting mascara on our bottom lashes. It just creates this doleful effect. If you don't put eyeshadow under your eyes, like sometimes I don't, put a little bit of a mascara and you're gonna see how it just ups your eye look, just that extra percentage, and it's really you're gonna like it. You're gonna love the way you look. I guarantee it. Okay. So this is not waterproof either, and I don't even know, because I don't know, waterproof mascaras, I like them better, yeah, because but it's just a little bit of a pain to get off. That's the only thing. Non-waterproof mascaras, they hurt, they burn a lot. Waterproof mascaras burn too, but something about non-waterproof mascaras, y'all. I don't know. But we're taking some lip balm. This is an all organic lip balm. It has a little bit of shimmer in it, but it is a balm first. It's just a tinted balm with a little bit of shimmer. And I am putting that just in the middle of my lips and just tapping that in, blending it in, just a little bit of color. Didn't want to do anything too serious. I haven't been wearing lipstick lately, so just these kind of things is what I've been doing. And next, just to make them glossy and hydrated, we're going in with some Carmex. Our favorite gloss, the very original gloss, some Carmex. I need some more gloss. I actually have this Manuka Honey gloss. Yo, I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna do it. But yes, now we got our Carmex on and we're feeling ourselves and we're looking great. And this is just really the end of the video. Ta-da! This is my makeup look. I don't know what to call it. We'll see what I come up with in the title. But I hope you guys like it. Please comment, share, like, subscribe, post it, put it on a sticky note, pass it around, send it in a letter, put a stamp on it, something. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's Chris. We out ya.